Welcome to the Retro Junkion.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a while, but I'm always doing projects and things and putting off recording apparently. So I got a TI-99 4A at the beginning of the summer, I think is when I got it. Got a good deal on it. It's up here. You can't really see it, but it's in really nice shape, and it came with a couple of joysticks. I'm sure anybody that had one of these remembers these things. They're pretty notorious for causing hand pain. They are notoriously uncomfortable and just kind of hard to use. They use a piece of foam rubber as their return spring and their back pressure for the buttons. So instead of having actual springs, they put this foam rubber in there, and that's what gives you back pressure and returns the joystick to the center. But anyway, the joysticks that came with it, they didn't work, of course. So I took them apart, and I was trying to, this is the original here. Let me zoom you in a little bit. These are some kind of polypropylene or polyester or something like that, PVC, I don't know, but it's just a stamp cut. It's just like a press cut sheet of plastic that they then print conductive ink on in the shape of the buttons, these little contact switches, I guess you would call them, but they're just, the conductive pads, and then up here for the fire buttons. And I went ahead and tried to fix them with some conductive ink, and I wasn't really getting good results. As a matter of fact, I don't think I ever got it to work. I think you can see it there. See how the ink has become like kind of blackened. From what I could tell, that's not even really the problem. There's just a couple of spots on here where they're scratched or something where it broke the trace completely. But anyway, after I failed to fix the conductive ink on this, zoom out a little bit, I decided that, you know what, it would be a great project for the community, because I went on eBay and I looked around on the web. I couldn't find anyone selling these, which actually kind of surprised me, but just couldn't find any. So I decided that I was going to make one myself. I was going to go ahead and do a project and make this board for people so we can have these original joysticks working for the people that, they want the nostalgic, original look and feel, and you know what I mean. So the first idea for this was, I'm going to find a company that will make this same kind of, conductive ink printed circuit board or membrane, and I'll just make it with them. It should be super cheap, no big deal. So I went online and looked around forever, and I couldn't find anybody that did it. So then the second thought was, well, I guess I'll just make like a modern flexible circuit board with the yellow kind of goldish looking flat flex cables that you see inside of like a cell phone or inside of a camera or something like that. You know what I'm talking about. So I was looking into that, but I guess because there's not a lot of people having those made like there are the regular circuit boards, I couldn't really find a reasonable price on them for small quantities, right? Like the first couple of places I looked, like they wanted to charge you like an engineering fee, and I forget what all it was, but it ended up being like relatively expensive, especially compared to a regular, just FR4 circuit board. So after I found that to be an issue, I decided, okay, well, I'll try to make it out of a regular circuit board and change the design to make it work that way. So that's where this came in. This is the first revision of it, so to say. And the idea was that I copied the outline perfectly, minus where the plug goes, because this one would actually use a like a normal 6-pin kind of ribbon type of they have like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but they're little solid core ribbon cables. They have like individual 10 wires running down through the middle, and that's what would be used to make the connection to the board that's in the joystick, which is just a little flat flex, you know, insertion connector. But anyway, so I did all the you know, I did all the outline and came up with my own design that used the idea was to use these guys, tactile dome switches. So I ordered a bunch of different ones of these because I wasn't sure, you know, like they have different ratings for push force and stuff like that, like how much pressure it takes to make them snap in, and they also have different sizes, obviously, and I think this one's actually the wrong size. Yeah, this one's actually too big, but I had a bunch of different ones. And when I finally got these in, I put them together, but I guess to be, just to point out before we go there, let me see if I can find the piece I wanted to point out to you guys. Hold on a second. Okay, so here's the inside of the joystick, the TI-99 4A joystick. And now, if you remember, these actually, it only has one joystick port on the computer, and there's two joysticks that plug into that same port. So you can't use a regular joystick either. So I guess that's worth pointing out. I can't just use like a C64 joystick on here unless you get this adapter board. And I did get that, but I was kind of wanted like the whole experience, you know? Anyway, right before I sent this design out, I was looking at the case, and I noticed that, I don't know if you'll be able to see in the camera. I mean, you can see it, but I don't know if you'll be able to tell. But these lines right here, let me get a pointing device for you. These lines right here, they're little ramps, actually. So it's lower here than it is up here. And right before I got this done and ready to send out, I noticed that, and I thought, okay, so that's probably going to be a problem. But I went ahead and sent them out anyway, just to see, you know, what would happen. So you toss that in there, and this would actually be, you know, like this when you're holding it. So the joystick's actually, you know, on the bottom side of the, or the board's actually on the bottom side of where like the button is. But it's kind of hard to show, but I don't know if you'll be able to tell in the camera, but this is going at an angle like that, right? Now that's exaggerated, but basically the buttons are down here, and the buttons for the joystick. So when you push the joystick, let me grab the joystick real quick. The joystick will be going through like that. So when you push the joystick, say left or right, it pushes down on the inside there. And the idea was, hopefully you can see that, the idea was it was going to push those tactile domes on the other side of the board. And for the most part, that part of it worked. I think the up button was a little bit iffy, and then that makes sense because that's the one, and actually this would be the down button because it goes through the board. So when you push down, it's actually hitting the top button. So they're actually flipped. But anyway, this one was a little bit iffy just because this is the closest one of those buttons to where the board starts going up. And then beyond that, and more so the problem, the fire button, I couldn't really get it to work reliably because it's being held away so far. And then the last part of the problem, and the real just final blow to this design, was when I got them in, I made this out of standard FR4, which I think is 1.6 millimeters thick. I think that was it. But anyway, so this goes on top of that like this, and then the joystick goes in like that, and then the top of the housing goes on right here, and you got to line this joystick up. It's got little slot holes in it. But anyway, you put that like that. There you go. But this is the major problem. You see this? It's too thick. Like, it's, to get this closed, it would be under constant pressure. Sorry. it would be under constant pressure, and I don't think it ever would have worked right. So that really finally killed it off. So after that, I went back to the drawing board. After I declared this board to be a complete and total failure, I started looking around online again to see if I missed one, if I could find another company that did this, or if I could find a decently priced flat flex circuit board. Sorry, a little bit of a tongue twister. Well, I did finally see that I found JLC PCB was actually doing some kind of a special on these, and I don't think this was available the first time I looked. It must not have been, but anyway, this is what I came up with. I got these made, and it's, you know, it's your typical flexible circuit board material. It's actually thinner than this. It doesn't really make any difference, but it is, I think this one's about half the thickness of this original material. You can see it's all ENIG plated, ENIG plated, gold contacts, and I had 5 of these made to test out the design, and I just got them in about a week ago, and it works perfectly. It works really well. They seem pretty durable. I don't think this was the one that I had in the joystick. I'll show you that one in a minute, but I've tested them out, played with it, and they're working correctly. As far as the design goes, I copied it, the outline, and on this version I figured, since this is basically effectively the same thing, I tried to get it as perfectly matched as I could. As far as the buttons go, they're the little contacts are about the exact same shape and size and everything, and the outline's about as close as I could get it, basically, because I'm measuring this with a caliper, basically. But anyway, this is what I came up with, and it works, and it seems to work great. So I just put an order in. These were, you know, samples, just you know, test units, so to say. Excuse me, I did notice one mistake I made as far as the layout goes. Well, not the layout, but it's a detail thing, but I wanted it fixed. Like I was saying, because the joystick goes through this board, it ends up making it to where up is on the bottom, down is on the top, and then left is on the right, and right is on the left. But if you notice here, I got this switched around, and I had this right, and then I was looking at it one day and started second guessing myself, and I guess got it twisted up in my mind. So this is actually labeled incorrectly, but functionally it is correct. Like, it's wired correctly. It's just the labels are wrong. So I switched that in the schematic and in the new design, and ordered some more, and they should be in a couple of weeks. The plan is I'm gonna put them on eBay, and I'll probably list it primarily as a kind of to let people know, one, obviously here, so you guys know, but beyond that, it will be listed on the TI-99, I think it's called TI-99ers. It's a Facebook group. That's where I kind of announced it at first, to just let those guys know that this was going to be a thing. And it seemed to, people seem to like the idea of being able to replace these and get their old joysticks working, even if they are horrible joysticks. But, you know, if you grew up with it, there's nostalgia and everything. But let me show you. I have one here that's already set up to go back into the whole double joystick configuration. So here's the little interface board that is in the joystick, and this original version, actually, I did have a stiffener to help you push in the little the cable, so to say, but JLC had a problem. I used KiCad to make these, and the layer that I put the stiffener on, they couldn't see it. So I ended up just telling them to take it off, because I figured, all right, you know, I'll make my own if it needs that. Well, when it came in, It did need it. This board's kind of too thin to just push into the connector. So I just cut out a little piece of plastic and taped it on there. But the final version, the ones I just ordered, I did get the stiffener put in and I got it in the right layer. So it'll come pre-made, pre-assembled by JLC. But anyway, so this will sit in here. This drops into the top side of the joystick right here, just like that. And if I can get this little notch lined up for the little circuit board, it fits perfectly. If I didn't have it smashed in there right here, let's see if I can get it to lay. It's I think it's stuck under this board. There we go. Come on. Now I got to get the board back in again. And I think I got it twisted. Here, let me straighten this back out. I guess it twisted in the little joystick, or in the little connector. Oh, you know what? It might just be this cable yanking on it. All right, there we go. Okay, there you go. It's in there, and you can see it fits and everything. And I think you can probably see it. Maybe not because of the glare. Let me see if I can bring it up some. There we go. So there you can see through to the little plated metal contacts underneath. They line up correctly, and up here with the fire button. And I mean, you would expect them to. It's as far as the position of the buttons go, I did my own trace routing. I did it the way I wanted to, but as far as the position of the cutout and all the details of the actual like outline, and then the layout of the the position of the actual buttons is identical to the original. So of course it lines up and works and everything. But there you go. That's what it looks like in there. And then also on the newest version, I went ahead and took off 0.1 millimeters on this side, because I noticed on a couple of them it was touching this side, and I just wanted to make sure it wasn't gonna impede its functionality any. I don't think it would, and it hasn't. Like I said, I've used this and it's been working great. But I just wanted to make sure. And I also gave 0.1 millimeters. I made a 0.1 millimeter higher cutout. So I made this little notch right here for this screw post. I cut it out 0.1 millimeters further than the original is. Just to make sure. Because the other thing I guess that's worth pointing out about these guys is the originals, the ones that I had made, these were cut out with a laser. So each one of them is going to be exactly the same, right? But these original ones, they were kind of cut out by, a press machine. So they just had a blade that kind of cut them out with one single press. And because of that, just the two joysticks I have here, these are slightly different, just little tiny bits, here and there, especially at like corners and stuff, where I guess the plastic kind of shifted a little bit while it was stamping them out. So I did kind of have to average them. And that's why I put in that extra gap, because, I don't know, it just seemed like I just wanted to make sure that this wasn't going to cause any issues amongst all of the joysticks and, just all that little bit of variance in where the connector is located on the board and everything. I just wanted to make sure that wouldn't be an issue. And so far it's not. So anyway, after you do that, it goes in there. This little rubber, I guess, I don't know what you would call that, rubber spring, I guess. It goes on top, and then your joystick goes in like that. And then, and then once you line that guy up, the back goes on, and then you put the screws in. And that's pretty much it. So replacing them is about as easy as it gets, obviously. And there's no parts on them, so when they come complete, because they are just the board, right? But yeah, it's been a really fun design. I enjoyed it. I've never made, this is the first flat, flexible PCB I've ever made. So it was kind of fun doing all that, changing up the 3D model and stuff so it actually looked correct in the model, which doesn't matter as far as ordering goes, but I wanted it so I could better visualize it, But let me put this joystick together real fast, and then I'm going to show you, I'm going to hook this up with the TI-99 and we'll do some Space Invaders or some Pac-Man or something like that, just so you can see them working. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, let me fire up the TI-99. And to do this, I'm actually I'm using this device called a Pico PEB, Pico Peripheral Expansion Box that a guy had listed on the TI-99er Facebook group. I definitely recommend you guys check it out. It uses a Raspberry Pi Pico to replace a peripheral expansion box, so it gives you hard drives and a bunch of other things. I haven't really got far into it, but it's a great little system. And what did I miss? Oh, I think I have it on the wrong input. Hold on a second. Input. Yes, I do. There we go. Okay. Try that again. Fire in the hole. Okay. So we're just going to go in and load up a game. I guess we'll do... I can't think of a game that has all directional control and fire. So first we'll go for Pac-Man, I guess. That has directional control, all 4 directions, of course. Let me find it here. Pac-Man L. Alright, and then it reboots with that, and then 2 for Pac-Man. And I have my board in both of the joysticks here. I may have the wrong one. We'll find out in a second. I just grabbed one of the 2, but I don't know which one player 1 is, so let's see. Alright, yeah, I guess I got it. Okay, so yeah, here's Pac-Man. This is with my board installed, and you can see it's working as it's supposed to. I have good directional control, and it feels nice, as far as, you know, as much as these joysticks are capable of feeling nice, it feels nice. Alright, so there's your directional controls, and then let me shut this off, and then we'll load up. I don't know what happened to my Pac-Man. I guess he froze or something. Oh, he stopped. That's neat. Let me load up my... let me shut this off and load up, I guess, TI Invaders to show you the firing. Alright, so I'm just going to shut it off. You really should look into this PPEB, Pico PEB, Pico Peripheral Expansion Box. It's really cool. Alright, so Pico PEB menu, and then we'll go to games again, and then we will go to, let's see, I think I have it in the one called TI. That's a directory I made myself. The other ones I got from the guy that was building these for people. So I need to go over quite a bit. Alright, there it is, F. Okay. Same deal, it resets, and then you have the cartridge inserted. These are all cartridge files that I'm loading up, by the way. Merely aggressive is really definitely my style. Alright, so here's your left and right, and then fire. Oh, and I'm dead already. Try that again. Ooh! I am not much of a gamer, I can tell you that. I like these old games for sure, but actually Mario Bros, things of that nature are kind of my favorite things. Alright, but yeah, so there you go. That's the joystick with my board in it, and yeah, it's working. They look really good. I'm really happy with the results, and they will be available. I just ordered the final batch. I only got like 30 of them, and then if those sell out really fast, I'll order a bunch more. But I wanted to order a small bit, just, you know, just in case. I want to make sure that they come in and that the stiffener is correct and all that. And then if I need to, if there's a bunch of people that want them, I'll order a bunch more. Now let me put you back down on the bench, and then just wanted to show you another thing I've been working on in between these videos. Alright, and then just as a last kind of just another thing that I've been going through just real quick. This is another project I've been working on, and this one's actually been done well before the joystick boards. But this is for the Atari ST computers and the GBS control boards, if you guys are familiar, the little video upscaler. For whatever reason, the Atari boards don't work with the GBS control just straight up. So I made this board to try to fix that, and it works. But the problem is I'm not 100% sure of what it's actually doing to make it work. So I wanted to show you this, but I may not, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to release this board or if I'm going to modify it. But anyway, that might be a video coming forward. I'm not sure yet, but I just wanted to show you guys the joystick, let you know about that. I'll put a link to that Facebook group in the description to this video in case you want to get on there. And then other than that, I'll see you in the next one. I really appreciate everybody's support, the likes, the subscriptions. It's really cool. I appreciate it a lot. Thanks, guys.